Hello, all of you bold, beautiful, brilliant, and highly evolved souls. I'm Davina, and today I'm going to talk about the types of invalidation. And firstly, just to say what validation really is, and that is when someone affirms and supports who you are, your feelings, your experiences, your opinions, ideas, everything about you. They don't have to agree with it, but they're going to be affirming that that's what you like, or that's how you feel, and say, I'm supporting of you as you are. So it's kind of the opposite of shaming, really. And it's also quite similar to, I believe, oppression, which I looked up the definition of, is prolonged, cruel, or unjust treatment or control by an authority or a person or people in power. And this is really what invalidation does to a person is, for narcissists, day by day, they're literally stripping away who you are, the core of who you are, your identity, your likes and dislikes and values, and how you feel is so, obviously core a to a person's being, and even more so for people who are highly sensitive. So I just really want to this is extremely, extremely damaging. And I think the more I open my eyes to um, just how just really how damaging and horrendous it is to be invalidated as a child and to literally lose your identity. So I came up with 5 different kind of types or categories. Number 1 is, and you've probably heard of all these, it's not going to be surprising, but downplaying or minimizing your feelings, your experiences, pretty much anything about you. So that, and especially, I guess, feelings, saying it's not that bad, or, you're just being too sensitive, you're making a mountain of a molehill, I don't see what the big deal is here, anything to sort of make you think that you're kind of overreacting to a situation. And they're, saying the opposite. They're minimizing, downplaying. So you think that, then you begin to think you're too emotional or you're crazy or whatever. This is really damaging. Number 2, just outright denying your feelings, your experience, what's important to you. So if you're saying, a child says, I feel tired, and they say, you're not tired, or you can't be tired, you can't be hungry, you just ate an hour ago. So just outright denying your experience, your reality. And again, like just outright denying is it's a horrible, and it's horribly confusing for a child to hear, like, but I feel tired, but someone's telling me I'm not tired. And so it's like they can't make sense of their world. They don't know what this feeling is. They think that they learn to not to trust themselves at all. It's really horrible. Number 3 is judging someone, criticizing them, giving them shoulds, you should do this, you should think like this, you should be like this, and giving unsolicited advice. So any way that some person, again, is saying that how you're doing something is wrong, or what you're doing is wrong, how you're thinking is wrong, and they have the idea, they have the solution as to how you should be living your life, how you should be, what you should think. And they think that they are sort of this, the expert on you, when you are the expert on you. And this, again, can be just, it's a really painful feeling to have. For me, I get so triggered if someone gives me unsolicited advice and says you should be doing this, and often like they don't, yeah, and it just makes you feel really unseen, unheard. Like, do you even really want to know what I'm thinking about this? Or, they don't. It's just a control tactic and a way to kind of, yeah, shut you down and shut you out. Number 4 is mocking. And this can be really cruel. It's a cruel kind of teasing, but the only person that's laughing is the narcissist or whoever's doing it, because anyone can do this, but it's, they're basically laughing at you and you're not laughing, so it's a mocking again of your experience, your feelings, your idea, your creativity, your preferences. Yeah, this happened to me, and I was like talking about how pigeons are pooping on my balcony, and I'm putting up some spikes to keep them out. And they kind of joked and said, "Oh, you should just train the pigeons." And I'm like, that's not funny, that was really not a funny thing. Or I remember like one time I was telling a friend about how I like to meditate kind of while I'm eating my oatmeal, just like a meditative experience. And they kind of laughed at me and made a joke about it. And I'm just like, I wasn't joking, I'm sharing something about myself. And yeah, so it makes you feel really like, yeah, just ick and ouch and not good. Number 5 is dismissing and ignoring. I think my mom was like really great at dismissing. And I looked that one up too, and it actually says to treat as unworthy of serious consideration. And so of course, when you dismiss someone, someone dismisses you, you're gonna feel unworthy. You're going to feel unimportant. You're going to feel like someone's just sweeping you away, trying to sweep your feelings away. They don't care. Yeah, they don't care. They don't want to consider what you're feeling. And ignoring can just be literally, turning their head and, just not paying attention to you or walking away. So these are, again, really, really cruel ways to treat a child who is, possibly in distress, or maybe just wants to express, something that happened to them at school that day. And, the parent is just brushing them aside, or, making light of it, or, just saying something so that it kind of ends the conversation. It kind of shuts it down. People can use cliches and things like that to also dismiss. And so all of these, again, is just, the narcissist's way of slowly negating you and erasing you. And so you are left with, really feeling almost in a feeling of invisibility, or feeling that you don't exist, because then, yeah, you don't have any connection with your feelings or who you are or what you like and don't like. And everything about you is just kind of wrong or bad, or whatever the narcissist chooses to. And yeah, it's just, it's obviously just really, really extremely damaging. So one thing you can do is really obviously validate yourself. And this morning I came out of my weekend of fogginess, and I don't know what it was, shame, brain fog, I don't know. It just felt like this heavy, awful, icky feeling. And what I did also was I looked in the mirror, and I said some phrases like, "Of course I feel like crap," right? "Of course I'm feeling tired. These are so validating. Of course I'm, feeling really ashamed." Kind of just, it helps to just like break through, because also in our minds is that we are being trained to do this to ourselves. And this is the even more painful thing is, feeling tired, and there's some little part in our brain that's saying, but I shouldn't feel this way. I don't feel this way. And so overcoming this, like, find your own phrases to validate yourself, like pin them on your fridge or whatever so that you can, like, look at them. I think that's helpful. And I think just looking in a mirror in general can be helpful. I realized after my whole weekend, I hadn't hardly looked at myself. And it was literally like I felt like I kind of didn't exist. And so this morning, I have a mirror that sits on my desk here, and looked more closely at myself. And I said also another couple phrases which help. Um, I am the living proof of my parents' abuse. And yeah, of course I feel like crap. Of course I'm feeling exhausted. Of course I'm feeling depressed. This is what they did to me, right? So you are the living proof that your parents did in fact abuse you, and you weren't imagining it. And it was that bad. And I am proud to be healing. I am proud to be healing. Um, the shame can often just take over, and I find it's hard to get that pride to get through sometimes. But when I start to feel that pride, then I know that, maybe the shame has loosened up a little bit. So I hope this has been somehow helpful or validating to you today. Sometimes I just feel like I need to talk, because talking and expressing myself is so important, because that's another thing that they strip away from you, is just your basic self-expression, your right to express yourself. So I am wishing you many, many blessings on your journey of healing and awakening. And I am Davina at Boldness Blooming.